and YouTube and Facebook are joining us. Bosco. Oh, that is a good name. Does everyone name their cats starting with a P, Ted? You're very paying attention to the themes that you're seeing out there. That's so good. All right. I hope you have your snacks, your drinks, your favorite animal names, and wherever you are in the world. It's a fun game. Like, is Patches an animal name or is it a location? I mean, I have a guess, but it's all good. 6-word story, not quite enough. Oh, Cohen and Otis. Cohen and Otis, those are my nephews. Hey, Karen. Hi, Cohen and Otis. How you doing? Are you wearing your glasses, Cohen? Because I got mine on. That's so funny. I thought those were pet names, but those are my nephews. Represent. Katie, yeah, it's pretty funny. Okay, snacks, drinks, ready to refill as needed tonight. Running shoes on. Chris is ready. Chris, you might be our representative of like reminding us to refresh our food throughout the course, our drinks. We've had someone do that before. Oh yeah, Barbara, I do. I sit on a ball. I often stand, but tonight I am sitting on a ball. Chris has accepted the role to remind us to stay hydrated, people. So Chris, we're going to hear from you the rest of the night. You've got a theme. You've got a responsibility to make sure that people stay hydrated. We thank you for accepting that. Improv enters a bar. Everyone laughs. Oh, it's a 6-word story, Joe and Lisa. Chris is on it. I'll be curious if other roles show up. Like, we need the community to come together and take care of us. Like put your keys in a bowl so no one drinks. Everyone gets home safely. Okay, great. So we have 20 people out there in the Facebook and YouTube world. Hi, you're 15 seconds behind us, and we're going to wait for you. 1, 2, 3. I'm kidding. Yes, Ted, the keys are in the bowl for safety to make sure that you pass the sobriety to go home. Did you think it was something else? Mm-hmm. All right. 7:52. We're getting ready to go. This month of BATS Improv shows is sponsored by Tom Coates, who has a YouTube channel if you'd like to check out. I'm actually there right now at Car Bubble. I'm going to hit subscribe so he knows that I was there. He has 49 subscribers right now, so maybe he'll have more after tonight, so he'll know that we're all thankful for him being such a big BATS supporter. What are you drinking? Now, KS, I'm pretty sure you're asking the whole group that, all right? It's so good. I'm going to drink water and lemon juice. Craig is drinking ice water. Judy Ford's drinking tea. Oh, right. He's got 7 minutes. If you missed it earlier on, we played a game where you and another person both look at each other while you put your pen on a piece of paper and draw each other. We had a great volunteer, and I drew a picture of her, which looks like this. That's me looking only at her and not picking up my pen. I highly recommend this game for all your Zoom calls you're doing this week. Hello from No. Oh, have you been to a BATS show? Hillary's asking, yeah. Okay. Sheila is eating vanilla ice cream and Fran's dark chocolate sauce. Oh, it sounds amazing. 7 minutes, time ticks by. Joe and Lisa. Cool. Okay. We did that at Yosemite. We drew and we saw without looking at the paper. Yes, Robin, that's exactly it. Improv games for fun. Like, you can bring your whole family in. Okay, we're going to play one more improv game before the actors get here. All right, I am going to say the beginning of a word, and you're going to finish it. Okay, so we're talking about one word. So, for example, I could say, and then you would say the second part of that word. So say anything. Yes, that's great. You did 2 words, right? Staycation. Yes, say Zid. Yes, you've got this game. Okay. Oh, I love how quickly you're gathering this. Seder, savor. Yes. All right, we're going to start seeing people showing up here. But while they're doing that, let's play this game just a couple more times, all right? So, ta, and now you finish the word. Ta, hi, Laura from Orca Tahoe, ta-da, ta, ta-hi, ta. Rebecca Stockley is in the virtual theater. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Christina.
Hey. While you're promoting, but welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thanks. Are you playing a game right now?
Yeah, we are. As people are getting promoted, I'm saying the beginning of a word. Do you want to do it? Why don't you say the beginning of a word, and then people in the chat will finish the word. Do you want to try it, Corey?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, sure. Bra.
Okay, and let's see what people say. Brazier.
Bravo.
Bravo. Barack Obama. Brasum.
Awesome.
Chris,
Awesome.
Chris tonight in the
Brazil?
audience is going to be our hydration reminder. He's going to remind us to hydrate. Okay, Lisa, would you like to say a beginning of a word?
Yes. Crew. Crew.
Ooh, cuisine, candidate, cruel, caviar, cruel cut, crusade. Oh, it's so good.
Cruella de Vil.
Cruella de Vil. Oh, Barbara Carey, what is up? I see you. Oh, Dan Klein, rock on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Before you all got here, we also played. We actually promoted someone from the audience, and we played the game where we drew each other.
Oh,
this
no
is my drawing of her, and then she drew a picture of me without looking down at our paper.
That's
So we're just
amazing.
teaching people improv games they can play on Zoom. So
Brilliant.
Yo, we're just missing Zoe. Oh, no, she's here.
Yep.
Yay.
All right.
And William.
I'm almost there.
William.
Okay, Rebecca, as we get ready to shift and say goodbye, could you say the beginning of a word so that the panelists can help finish it?
Ho!
Okay, here we go. Let's see what they say. Police, Poland.
Oh, nice.
Holy smokes, polar bears.
Holy smoke.
For me.
Poetry.
Oh, polka. That's my Auntie Alex.
Oh, nice.
Patati.
I want to try one.
You do? Okay, good. Are we, just before we do that, Zoe, are we waiting for anyone else? William, maybe?
William.
Okay, Zoe, we're ready for you. So give us the beginning of a word, and then the audience will let you know the end of it. Here you go. Ready?
Okay. Mon.
Woo. Okay, here we go. Mono, monokey,
Monkey.
monolith, monotone.
Monday.
Zoom.
Monday.
Monday.
Oh, man, these are good, man. This is fun on Zoom.
Yeah.
Mon chéri.
Oh, Sherry.
Oh, this is so fun. All right. Is everyone here?
We have everyone. That's true.
Okay.
Monolithic.
Great. We'll see you after the show for some Q&A. We're super excited. Yeah. We're all hanging out waiting for you. Have a great show.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Great. All right. Well, we'll take it from here. So, hello, world. Everybody say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you all here for the Gather with BATS Improv. This is our cast. Look at it. What an amazing cast we have tonight. Right? We have Lisa Rowland. We have Rebecca Stockley. We have William Hall. We have Zoe Galvez. I'm Corey Rosen. And we are so fortunate to have 3 guest performers, storytellers with us tonight. They are Brandon Sparse, Tracy Rose, and Scott Sanders. Let's hear it for all those amazing guests. So cool. So this is what we call the Gather. The format that we're doing tonight is unique to BATS Improv. It is something that I don't think exists anywhere else. And it's really something near and dear to my heart, because the 2 things that I swear I love the most in the world are improvisation and storytelling, live, true storytelling, like the kind you would hear at the Moth. And here we get to see and experience both. What we get is we have storytellers who have performed on stages, including TEDx, Bash, which is at Shotgun Players in Berkeley, the Moth Grand Slams in the San Francisco Bay Area. And they're going to tell true stories from their own lives. And then we're going to mash that together with storytelling. We're going to mash that together with improvisation. So we're going to use the stories that they tell, and then we, the BATS Improv people, we're going to then use those stories as sort of the genesis to make up stories, to either riff on them, add to them, improvise on the themes or the characters and those kind of things. And it's going to be this kind of playful jazz improv blend of story and improv. And it's going to be totally unique, and it's never going to be repeated. And you're seeing it for the first, and I was going to say for the only time, but actually you can share this after the show and you can actually watch it again.
Nice. Yeah.
Something kind of unique. So, so maybe in the chat before we start, just to warm you up a little, I know Christina has warmed you up a little bit, but is there something that you notice as a theme that's emerged in your life, maybe over the last week or two? Something, go ahead and put in the chat if there's something that you think is something that you've noticed, like a common theme or a pattern or something like that. I'm seeing isolation. Amazing. I'm seeing personal space. I appreciate that.
Oh, new rules. I love that.
Groundhog Day.
Gratitude.
Cutting my own hair.
Unity.
Shower optional.
No
Shower
pants.
optional.
Cats on Zoom.
Laziness.
Totally.
Surrender.
Oh, I love this.
Code names.
Code name. Oh, I love code
Give
names.
myself a new code name.
Totally.
Yeah.
Fresh air. It's true.
No commuting.
Yeah.
Resetting
Puppets.
expectations.
Puppets on Zoom. Fresh air.
Family on Zoom.
Yeah.
Sourdough starter.
Sourdough starters. Raise your hand in this group.
How many
If you
PJs
cook
can I go
anything,
through?
Cook anything that you never cooked before. If you tried something.
Oh, yeah.
Bake or cook something? No, just a few. Oh, a bunch of us.
Mm-hmm.
Never cooked before?
No, like in the recent thing, you trying to do something. Maybe just do something that you haven't done before.
It took a pandemic to get me in the kitchen. Yeah. I had a spider web over my oven pre-pandemic, just saying.
Oh, you're still there.
Oh no, I'm cooking now.
Not there.
Very cool. All right, should we get started?
Yes.
All right, before we do, I'm just going to do a quick intro of our storytellers, just so our audience knows these wonderful people that they're seeing here, Brandon, Tracy, and Scott. I'm going to give a little intro. So Tracy Rose. Tracy, when she's not here, is actually peddling wine by day and dabbles in storytelling by night. And while confined to the house these days, Tracy stares longingly out her window toward or near Lake Merritt, thinking bad thoughts about the runners wearing no masks as they aspirate their hot breath into the nearby airspace.
Ooh.
This is Tracy's first time at the Gather, so let's hear it for Tracy. All right, our next storyteller is Scott Sanders. Now, Scott is an ex-actor, an ex-New Yorker who moved to the left coast 20 years ago and is still wrestling with cross-cultural challenges.
Yes.
Scott has told stories in multiple Moth Grand Slams, Moth Main Stage events, NPR Snap Judgment, and he produces the multimedia storytelling show called BASH, Bay Area Storytelling Hijacked at Shotgun Players in Berkeley. A great show. I've been to it. Let's hear it for Scott.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Brandon Sparse, a college and high school instructor for 25 years, primarily at UC Berkeley and Sonoma Academy, who teaches both high school humanities and college writing. And Brandon always brings storytelling into his lessons, whether he focuses on ancient history or English language acquisition. He's contributed to countless workshops and conferences on the intersection between storytelling, ancient history, and pedagogy. And Brandon, I know from the many, many Bay Area storytelling events that he does, including TEDx, Moth Story Slams, and Moth Grand Slams. Let us hear it for Brandon Sparse.
Brandon. Yes.
Woo, 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 woo. Mega claps. All right. So the way that this works is this, for the audience to know, we don't pre-select who's going to go when. All that we know is that I'm going to ask in a second, does anyone want to go first? Someone's going to say me, and then they're going to tell a story. When they're done, then we're going to improvise a few minutes of stories, of, scenes and stories based on that. There. So Lisa?
Well, it just feels, maybe you said this and I missed it, but we haven't heard these stories. Did you say that?
No,
We do not, yeah. So
No.
we don't know them. So we haven't practiced or prepared these stories. So even to us, this is it's like a mega improv suggestion where we don't know what we're getting and we're going to get this rush of information, character insight and things like that. And then we're just going to play with it like a big pool of suggestions and offers.
Cool.
All right. So are we ready to start?
Let's do it.
All right. So
All right.
storytellers, is there anyone who wants to go first?
I will. I will. I will.
I saw Tracy first. So
Oh,
ladies and
Tracy.
gentlemen, let's all turn off our cameras and welcome Tracy Rose.
I'm glad to be here to tell you this true story. It's a Saturday night in 2003, and I'm sitting at the bar at the Mint, iconic gay karaoke in San Francisco, sipping on a vodka and soda, waiting for my turn to sing. Now, I used to be a regular there, but I hadn't been in forever. And I had this urge to go sing that night, even though I had to get up at 5 a.m. for my job as California motorcycle safety instructor. If you've ever taken that class, that was me. So I'm sitting at the Mint, looking around at the bachelorette parties, all the straight people, and kind of lamenting the loss of another queer San Francisco venue, when all of a sudden, through the door comes an old school butch with a flat top haircut and a leather jacket, followed by two femmes, a blonde and a brunette. That's looking good to me. They walk up around the corner. I can't see them, except the blonde peeks her head back, checking me out. And I'm single, so I make eyes back. And I'm feeling pretty good as they call T-Bone to the stage. That's my karaoke name, T-Bone. I go up and sing one of my showstoppers, Creep by Radiohead, which probably isn't the best pickup song. If you know the lyric, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, it's probably not going to make a great impression, but I can belt it out and I sing my heart out, get the money shot at the end, and I get my standing ovation from the crowd. I'm feeling good as I sit down, and the blonde comes over to say hello. I lean in, say hi. First impression, I'm not really feeling the vibe, not really my type. But who doesn't like a little bit of attention? So I make a little chit chat and I go to take a sip of my drink. I turn around, she's gone, disappeared. Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. 30 seconds later, it's the old school butch. And she leans in and says, "Are you a top or a bottom?" I'm not really into butch on butch action, so I deflect. I'm a switch. Who wants to know? And she tells me that the femme that I was just flirting with, her girlfriend just showed up. And so she skedaddled. But her sister, who is up there, the brunette, is also gay. Do I want to meet her? Well, I'm single, so of course I do. So now I go up and around the corner. And at this point, it's like a movie. The clouds part. The angels are singing. There's a spotlight shining down on this really attractive woman. And I'm definitely feeling the vibe. But I don't know if she is. She is glaring at me like, "You were just flirting with my sister." So I get a little nervous and I blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind. "I like your shoes." And we both look down at her plain, boring, brown shoes. So I move on. I stumble through an introduction, and I'm told at this point, I don't really remember, but at this point, I burped and I blew it in her face. I know, pretty gross. I don't remember, but she says her hair fluttered in the wind. I ask her, so what do you do for a living? Just trying to move past it. And she says, "I work in the field of domestic violence." And I will tell you at this point, I rolled my eyes. Not a good look. But I was thinking, another lesbian for social justice. That's the story of my dating life. And she fires back, "So what do you do for a living? President of the United States?" I teach people how to ride motorcycles, which honestly sounded a lot more cool at the beginning of this story, right? but I do have a big ego. So I pressed on. And when the butch got up to go get more drinks, I invited myself to sit down with them. So now we're sitting 4 across, me, the brunette sister, and the girlfriend. So I try a different tack and I make small talk with the sister. So, is that your girlfriend? And she blocks the view of the girlfriend, looks me right in the eye, and says, that is the woman that I'm seeing. So clearly, she's still into me. I'm not. I'm into this one who thinks I'm a dumb, drunk butch who wants to get with her sister. So somehow I keep moving through this painful conversation, trying to find an angle, trying to find an in, and I make a Rico Suave move and ask her if I could take her out the next time she comes over the bridge. And she says, maybe. Maybe. Nobody says maybe to T-bone. So I assume that maybe is yes, but I find out later that maybe actually means no. But she does give me her phone number, I think because she thinks she's going to connect me with her sister. But it doesn't matter. I have the number. I give her a call the next day, of course. Desperado. And it takes me the better part of 2 hours to convince her that she is not sloppy seconds and that I am definitely worth taking a chance on. Our first date is another disaster story altogether, but it happened. And to this day, we are still together. When you start at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. Thank you.
Tracy Rose!
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm sorry, I was getting ready to come back in your story, and right towards the end, I showed up, and hopefully nobody noticed that.
I'm sure nobody noticed.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Let's hear it for Tracy Rose. Incredible story. So now what's going to happen is Tracy's going to go away, and the improvisers are going to take the stage, and we're going to basically improvise a few scenes and stories inspired by the story that Tracy just had. So who's got something? Go for it, William.
Great. Yeah, let me set the scene. It's a mountaintop. It's a steep climb where there's mist all around. A person is climbing up the mountain, gets to a certain place, looks over, and there is the wise person of the mountain sitting at the mouth of a cave. Who's going to be my wise person of the mountain? Hello, I've climbed all the way up here. I have questions that only the wisest person in the world can answer.
You have come to the right place.
Great. I'm kind of an outcast. Well, I'm okay with who I am. It's just that I don't seem to fit in the places I go. They're not like me. Or
Are you a creep?
Well,
are you a weirdo?
Those are names that have been put on paper that's stuck to my back on occasion. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be that way forever, or I want to find someone that I can. What should I do?
Proclaim it.
What?
Proclaim your creepness. Proclaim your weirdo status. I know that you won't believe me. It seems crazy.
But won't that attract other weirdos and creeps?
Perhaps. But aren't we all weirdos and creeps?
Are you a weirdo or creep?
Oh, yes.
Are you seeing anybody now?
This is not the place to ask.
Oh, okay, right. Good, okay. Yeah, see, that was creepy, I know. Okay, anyway, so I proclaim it.
Proclaim it.
Yeah.
And in the next place that you go, let the world know you are a creep. You are a weirdo. You're wondering, what the hell are you doing there? And it will attract, though maybe not at first, but it will attract those that you seek. Ask no more questions.
Thank you. I would ask more, but I won't. So, thank you. I will go down from this mountain. And if I survive the climb, I will let everyone know I am a creep. I'm a weirdo. I will sing at the top of my lungs and let everyone know.
Yes.
And if I attract creeps or weirdos, I'll let them fight over me. I'll let them think that whatever they want to think.
That's right.
Thank you.
Go forth.
Right.
Sing loud.
Yes.
Be joyful.
I am a creep. I'm a weirdo. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
Keep working on the tune. Keep working on the tune, but you've got the spirit.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And
The end.
I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control.
Hey, Rex. Did you just see what I just saw there, Rex?
yeah.
Yeah. What's going on? What happened to this dog park?
I don't know.
It used to be just us dogs that would hang out here now.
It was just us, and our owners used to hang out over on the bench, but it's gotten strange.
It's like they're letting anybody who wants to come into this dog park now, right? I smell some. What? Huh? Now there's a familiar face.
Are you new? Are you new here? Can we smell your butt so we can find out who you are?
Yeah, I'm from the country. It's my first time here.
You're from the country?
I'm from the country.
Oh, there used to be a dog who lived in my house, Rover. But, well, he went to sleep and he never woke up, and my owner said that he went to the country.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not a good place for a dog to go. The country is actually a terrible place for dogs to come back from the country.
Nobody comes back from the country, but you...
What's it like in the city?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you guys, do you have karaoke here?
What?
At karaoke.
Well, I don't know what that is.
My master sings karaoke in the living room.
Like that? Oh,
Just
nice
like that?
voice.
Yeah, but with words.
Oh, I like your singing voice.
With words. They sing words. Whoa!
Let me get a closer smell of you. Oh, a country, huh?
Country.
I gotta say, the first time I knew someone who went to the country was my own puppy.
I have to go. I
just want to thank you. I feel like I used to think that the country was not such a good place to be, but now I'm not so afraid.
Next time you come, do you want to hang out? Oh.
I need a couple, please. I need two people who to play a couple.
I'll be a couple.
Great. Super. You two are a couple.
Okay.
Great. Hello, and thank you for participating in this interview process. We're going to ask a couple of questions about you being a couple, and just to get a picture of what it's like and how that worked out. How did you meet each other?
You tell it.
Oh, well, we can tell it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were at a bar. You
Right.
remember the bar?
It was a bar, and it was like really crowded, and
It was
not our
really
scene.
crowded.
Not our scene. Not the kind of scene I usually go to.
No, and you came on to my sister.
I came onto her sister. And
Yeah.
I said I was talking about her shoes. I don't know. I was just complimenting the most bizarre, random things. Her shoes were so boring. They were like just these brown, boring shoes. I was like, I really like your shoes. I don't know.
But like liking somebody's shoes is a way to establish some kind of rapport.
Just human nature, I guess. Yeah.
I didn't think you liked me at all.
I know, but the thing is, I really did like her, so that's why I was talking to her sister, because I was like, "There's no way that she's going to go for me, right?" I was just like, out of my league, out of my league.
Well, how long have you been together now?
Oh, 4 years.
Yeah. Why?
Donna.
Yeah.
Donna, can I talk to you alone?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What?
I tried the karaoke pickup thing. It's not working for me. I know it worked for you. It's just not. You told me that's what lesbians like, and I tried it. I went in there and I sang, and nothing, crickets.
Wait, I said that's what lesbians like?
That's what you told me. I'm a straight girl. I'm just learning how to do this lesbian thing. Come on, help me.
We don't like the same thing, Ingrid.
Wait, what?
You should just be you.
What? I don't know how to do that.
I think actually secretly Ingrid really liked me. I think I just got a kind of a feeling where even though I was talking to her because I really liked her sister, that she actually really had a thing for me. Like she was expressing interest. She was making it was body language. I don't know how else to say it. It was like the way that she was expressing it was like she touched me. She touched my shoulder,
Yeah.
I guess it sounds like it was rough. What made you stick it out? Why did you stay together? Why did you pursue anything at all?
I wasn't seeing anybody.
I was sort of looking for anything. I was desperate.
Standards were very low?
I was desperate.
Well, what? No.
Okay.
No. It's not like we settled.
All right.
We love each other, right?
Clearly, you've been together 4 years.
Now we do. Initially it was physical.
Yeah, it was physical.
Donna, come on, tell me the truth. Do you think I just need another song? Did I pick the wrong song? I mean,
Ingrid, you gotta be you. If you like singing karaoke, you should sing karaoke.
I did, but nobody would pay attention. I mean, you said that I would be able to pick up a chick, a girl, a woman, a broad,
Ingrid, you're not going to tell your sister about us, are you? Ingrid? I mean, what's going on with us? I mean, I don't want your sister to find out. It's going to get weird. I just, I'm like in a long-term thing with your sister, and here you and I are.
Who are you talking to?
No one, honey. No one, honey. I'm just on the phone. I'm coming up in a sec.
Okay.
I gotta go. I love you.
Welcome everybody to the meeting for the Lesbians for Social Justice. Come on in, come on in. Hi there. Great. I think now's a great time to, hello, Patty. I think now's a great time to chat about sort of, it's a good weekly check-in, talk about what your causes are this week, talk about the sorts of things that you're really going after fighting for. So who wants to begin here in the meeting of the Lesbians for Social Justice?
My passion this week is early childhood education and early childhood nutrition.
Great. That's great. I just want you to work on your commitment to that, right? It sounds like it feels a little bit like you're searching for it, but
maybe this week, maybe I should say my passion is early childhood nutrition and education.
Yeah. Well, you're new in the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you doing before?
Well, before I was just collecting old clothes and taking them to battered women's shelters.
Great. great. So sort of like in the domestic violence space.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, cool. You know, I mean, just go with what you're passionate. Go with what you're passionate about, but lead with it, right? Just like lead with it.
Lead with your passion. Lead with your passion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Patty. Did you want to? Do you want to share with us what you're great? Okay.
Well, I've switched. I know last week I was very into the, helping lesbians adopt kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I felt that was so strong.
Right.
I just didn't think it was it wasn't very social, it wasn't very high up there. So I'm really reconsidering.
Is there anything you have in mind, Patty?
I'm choosing between two things.
Great. Well, maybe the group can help you consider the decision.
I would appreciate that so much. You
Great.
know how much I depend on this group. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
So here's what I'd like. Should we be shutting down the patriarchy one man at a time? And all of us shut it down one man at a time? Or do we protest our manifesto of what we want the new status quo to be?
Those are big, really big questions. What's that?
One's kind of violent, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, great. Those are really big questions. Yes.
I've got a maybe more important question for you, Patty.
Sure.
You top or bottom? And see.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop there. And we are going to the end. We are going to segue now, and we're going to bring out a new storyteller. So we're going to start with a new story. So Scott Sanders, I see your windows popped up. Are you ready to tell a story?
I am ready to wing it.
All right. So please welcome a new storyteller. Give it up in the chat for Scott Sanders.
Okay. So I'm 12 years old and I live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And I come from a family with enough money that we have a housekeeper that comes one time a week. And we also have enough liberal Jewish guilt where they work very hard to figure out how to give her less work and pay her more. And in our house, we have a study filled with books. My father used to say that the Jewish definition of heaven is a really great library with a great deli. So in this study, there's floor-to-ceiling books, and they're filled with books about the Holocaust, the making of the atom bomb, the Donner Party, all uplifting subjects. And at night, I dream of SS Nazi stormtroopers. And again, I'm 12 years old. I'm maybe 5 feet 2 inches tall, 110 pounds, soaking wet. I actually look like I'm 10 years old. And I decide to pretend I'm sick, and I stay home from school. I had recently just finished reading all 1,100 pages of The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. My grandfather, a retired physician, lives with us. So all his medical books are in the basement. He also has 24 volumes of Freud's interviews with sexual deviants. And to round out my intellectual development, I just think, I should spend a lot of time devouring those books. Now, I don't know, maybe it's in my DNA, but books about the Holocaust and the extermination of Jews, coupled with detailed descriptions of incomprehensible sexual predilections, totally turns me on. I know nothing about sex, but I am obsessed. I am on total sexual alert. Now, our housekeeper, Pauline, is a very kind Polish woman. She's speaks with the Eastern European accent. She's been with our family for more than 8 years. She's very ripe and full. She reminds me of like one of her pierogies that are, boiling in the kitchen, about to burst. And Pauline is 52 years old. But most important to me, Pauline's a woman. Now, my parents are at work and my sister's at school. And I'm in the basement in the laundry room, and the smells of detergent and mildew, and the dryer is humming, and it's 9:30 in the morning. and I am lifting weights, 30-pound barbells. I'm flexing and straining, and the bicep curls migrate into overhead lifts, and my body is glistening with sweat, and I am completely naked except for a jockstrap. And I have this trance-like look on my face as I gaze at Pauline with totally confused 12-year-old lust. She's a mere 12 feet away, and she's trying to just maintain her focus on ironing by being weighed down by the strains of my desire. Now, Pauline is very provocatively dressed in a schmata apron, sweats. She has thick-lensed eyeglasses, and a hairnet, and she has an iron in her hand. And after she totally ignores me, I leave. And as if there's nothing surprising about little boy Scott in a jockstrap, pumping weights 12 feet from her. Now, this episode had been meticulously planned the night before during one of my now customary 40-minute showers, because I just discovered masturbation and my penis is raw from continual abuse. So I know what Pauline's schedule is. She does the kitchen area. No, she does the laundry room. Then she vacuums the living room, dining room, works her way into the kitchen, and then does the upstairs bedrooms later. So I look at my watch and it's 11:30 in the morning. So I know that the kitchen is on her radar. So I lay low for about 40 minutes. I jerk off to enhance my rationality. And then I decide to spring like a gazelle into the kitchen. And I'm wearing a very loose-fitting robe. I have absolutely nothing underneath. And I go to the counter, I get my Sugar Pop cereal, a bowl of milk, I grab my Malamars for a chaser, and I sit at the kitchen table, my legs spread wide, my gaze fixated on Pauline, who's standing by the stove tending to her pierogies. And I'm looking at her heaving bosoms and her bodacious body, waiting for Pauline to make a next move, but nothing happens. So disappointed, I leave. I lay low once again, and I'm beginning to get desperate, because before I know it, it's 2:30, and my mom gets back at 3. So I'm running out of time. So I know that, okay, the last chance I have, Pauline's upstairs in my sister's room. She does my sister's room just before she does my room. So I race up to my room. Once again, I'm totally naked. I lather my body completely with Johnson's baby oil. And I decide I'm going to feign taking a nap. I lie in the bed totally naked, eyes closed, totally anticipating Pauline coming in. But Pauline has had enough. She totally does not come into my room. She does not cover me with her breasts or caress my genitals. Pauline goes downstairs. And now I'm in a total panic because my mom's going to come home any second now. Pauline's going to out me to my mom. I'm going to spend the next 20 years in therapy. So I get dressed and I linger at the top step of our stairs, and I listen very carefully as my mother comes home. And I'm waiting for this moment of doom, and Pauline and my mom, all they do is exchange regular pleasantries, and then Pauline leaves. And my 99-year-old mom died about 5 years ago. And every decade or so, she would say, Scott, I wonder why Pauline quit. I'm so sorry, Pauline. The end.
Helga? Helga?
Yeah, what's going on? What's
Helga,
going on?
What is it? Is it me?
What?
Is it me? I seem to be inviting all kinds of attention that I don't want.
You're a sexy lady.
What do I do?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you're sexy, it's just hard to turn it off, right? Is that something you can turn on and off? I don't know. It's a gift you have. It's a gift and a curse.
I don't know what to do with myself. Every
Berta,
I go,
Berta,
I
it's a first world problem, really. What you're talking about?
Helga, every time I get a job, there's somebody in the household who just suddenly, there they are. I can tell.
Berta, I wish I had those kinds of problems. Everybody wishes they had these kinds of problems.
Oh, Helga, you do not.
Oh, yes, I do. Look at you. Look at you in your hairnet.
You are a happy woman.
Yeah, I am happily married. You're right. That's true. That is true. But look at you all single and living it up.
Oh, well, I suppose I am single, but I'm sure not living it up.
Single and
What are you
mingling.
talking about? Ladies, what are you talking about? Oh, hi. What are you talking about? Something wrong, Helga?
We're talking about, beauty and
She just can't help herself. She's just attractive. You can't help yourself.
who's this?
You are very attractive. Oh, this is somebody I met. I met him online.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see you standing there. Hello,
Introduce yourself, Dirk.
I am Dirk. I'm
Dirk.
12 years old.
I can barely
Oh,
hear you.
hello, Dirk.
I'm afraid I need to go. I'm going to see if I can just find another job. Goodbye.
Ah,
I thought you said you were
all
going
right, I'll see ya.
All right.
Thanks,
Huh.
anyway.
Well, Dirk, I guess it's just us.
I guess so.
Principal Martin?
Oh,
Principal Martin?
you see. Yes, I'm Principal Mark. Oh, there she is.
I'm Principal Martin.
Yeah, I know you are Principal Martin. I came to see you after school in your office. I hope it's okay that I came to see you in your office after school.
Of course it is. That's why I'm here after school.
Cool. You
Close
probably.
the door if you'd like to.
What did you just say?
Close the door if you'd like to.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be good.
Teresa, what can I help you with?
Well, you have a really nice office, Principal Martin.
Oh, thank you. I have a lot of books.
Yeah. You're super smart. And I remember last week when you came into our class and you told us that awesome story about traveling when you said you went to, where was it?
I've been all over the world. My most recent trip was to Japan. I was there for cherry blossom season.
Yeah, that's right. The cherry blossoms. And it was such a cool story. And
see this poster right here? This is from cherry blossom season with the castle. That's the castle in Osaka. Osaka Castle.
Principal Martin?
What is it? What is it, Teresa?
Will you marry me?
All right, Teresa.
Because I've just been thinking a lot about it, and what my mom says about love is like you love when you know you love somebody when they make you feel really good about who you are. And I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, who makes me feel really good about who I am? And I thought, well, Principal Martin does, because every time I talk to her, like I feel smarter and I feel like super strong. And so I thought, well, what happens when you really love somebody so much? And I asked my mom that, and she said, well, some people, when they meet somebody they love so much, they marry them. And so I thought, well, I'm going to marry Principal Martin. And then I can help you read all of these books, and we could go to Japan together, and I could be your wife and you could be my wife.
Teresa, I am so flattered. And I want to assure you that you are going to meet someone that you love even more than you love me. It's not appropriate for me to have any kind of intimate relationship with my students. In fact, I'm just going to open the door here. There we go. Because I want to have the door open when we're having this conversation, and make sure that Harold's still out there in the outer office. Harold, are you still out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thanks, Harold. Teresa, you are a wonderful student. You're a wonderful young woman.
I'm the smartest girl in the fourth grade.
You are. You certainly get the best grades, and you have very broad interests. And I would be delighted to help you explore lots of different scholastic ideas, but I want to assure you that I am the principal of your school and I'm here for your education.
Excuse me, mein Führer, may I come in? May I come in, mein Führer?
Ja, komm mal in. Komm bitte an, bitte. Danke. Okay.
Mein Führer, I must talk to you about something kind of sensitive.
Yeah, what is it?
Permission to speak freely.
Yeah, let's use the English then.
Okay. Mein Führer, I've been reading your writings, and I'm afraid that too much of what you write might strike people as erotica. I'm just saying, the way that you write, it is beautiful. You have such a command of the language, but I'm worried that it might give the wrong impression to some people.
Thank you for telling me this. I'm writing, of course, from not just my head and my heart, but I'm writing from all of me. And it's part of who I am. And it's just, I don't want to deny what I have and what I feel about what's possible, the human body, ever since I was 11.
It's just possible that it is going to send a message to people, maybe beyond the message of what you want them to know.
I don't care. This is the way we will handle everything. And if you dare to challenge me again, I will abuse you.
Abuse me?
Yeah.
Good night, Dad. Good night. Good night, Dad. No, I don't. You want to read a story?
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to, honey, if you want to read a story, I'm happy to read a story to you. You know,
Dad, I can't see you, Dad.
Well, I know I'm standing outside your door because I want to give you some privacy. You're a growing girl, honey.
You can come in.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
I just don't want to read those stories that you like anymore. I don't want to read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. I don't want to read the sexual deviance of Freud or whatever.
Well, honey, these are formative texts, and it's important to know what's out there. You know, they were very important for me as a child, anyway.
Can't we just read?
Sweetheart, are you reading a story?
We were just gonna begin one, honey.
Because Game of Thrones is about to come on.
Ah, great. I'll be right up.
Okay.
All right.
Can't we just read Harry the Dirty Dog or Snow White or something normal?
You know, well, I suppose we could read whatever you'd like, Princess. You know, we can read whatever you'd like.
It's just that every time I ask you to read something,
Mommy, you woke me up talking.
Oh, yeah. Champ, come on in.
I'm sorry, Daddy, I didn't see it was you.
Oh, who'd you think it was?
Well, I thought it was Mom downstairs watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, no, Mom's downstairs watching Game of Thrones. And your sister and I are talking about bedtime stories. Hey, Champ, I read you a bedtime story, didn't I? Yeah, and how did it help you sleep?
It was the Donner Party story.
That's right, it was the Donner Party story. Everybody, you know.
I keep having nightmares, Dad!
Oh, God.
I keep having nightmares about being eaten.
Social deviance.
What was that, Champ?
I'm having nightmares about sexual deviance.
No, well, yeah, I mean, it is the stuff of nightmares, but yeah.
This is what Harry the Dirty Dog.
Well,
or Snoopy or SpongeBob SquarePants.
Mom,
or Scooby-Doo.
Dad, do you think we're going to be in therapy for the next 20 years?
You know, kids, I can't answer that question.
You're a therapist. You should be able to.
Yeah, well, you know, even therapists don't have all the answers.
They
all right?
don't?
All right,
They
Princess?
don't?
No, they don't.
Do you say that to your clients, Dad?
Of course I don't. But I'll say it to you because I tell you two the truth, all right, about what's out there in the world.
What are people paying you for, Dad?
Is this a professional counseling session for me? Or do you want me to read another book? All right, sit down. I'll go get another book.
Are you getting upset up there, honey?
I'm getting a little worked up, darling.
Well, you know, you've been saving the Titanic story.
Oh, a new story, Titanic. That sounds good.
Yay!
Once upon a
Hey!
time, there
And
was a
scene.
big boat.
All right.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, William. Why don't we bring out our third and final storyteller? Please welcome to the screen, Brandon Sparse.
Hi, everybody. I hope that the sound is good. My internet's been clipping a little bit. So anyway, here I go. I was spending a lot of time on the internet, and I saw this funny post about signs. And one of the signs was from Thailand, and it instructed people, do not sit on the crocodiles. And that got me thinking about an incident that happened in Indonesia to me. It was about 30 years ago, where when I was a volunteer English teacher, and I was riding a ferry from the island of Sumatra to Bali, a voyage that should have taken about 2 days. And when I got into the hull of the ship, there in capital letters was a sign that read, maximum capacity 50 people. I began to count, and I stopped at 150. Now, at the time, I chuckled. I mean, this is what was thrilling, even exhilarating about living in Indonesia, the total disregard of technicalities such as maximum capacity limits. Well, just 6 hours into the trip, it happened. What do you expect to happen when you have 200 people on a boat that's supposed to only hold 50? The toilet jams. Now, the toilet was little more than a hole in the deck leading down a pipe into the ocean. And when I went in to use the toilet, I could not even see the hole. It was covered with a mound of human sewage. She caught my attention as she paced to and fro in front of the water closet. A young, beautiful woman. She had a white hijab made of shimmering material, a matching gown. I knew she had to go to the bathroom. And eventually she slipped in. Now, when two waves come together, they do not cancel each other out. They add. It's simple physics. And there must have been a wave from the aft and another wave from the stern, and they must have met right under that sewage pipe, because the door of the water closet was nearly blown off its hinges, and a briny mist filled the hull of the ship. All the passengers began to gag and cough, and then coming from the mist, no longer white, was the young woman. She stood there for a moment, her arms outstretched, her mouth agape. A glob of sewage dropped from her upper lip and connected slowly with the lower. And then she began to wail. Ah! Some of us rushed to help her, but whoa, this woman was covered with human bowel movements. Now, probably in shock and just seeking, I see the comments, and seeking help from other people, she began to come at us, still wailing. Ah! And as she neared us, we went around her and rushed to the other side of the boat, whereupon slowly, like a reanimated corpse, she pivoted and began her new approach. Ah! And when she neared us, we rushed again to the other side of the boat. Now, what we didn't imagine was what was happening up at the helm of this ship. With 200 people moving from one side to the other, we had completely overpowered the steering system of this vessel, causing it to spiral dangerously off course. No one had ever experienced it before. but we all knew what was happening when it did. There was an awful grating sound, and the entire ship began to shiver and tremble. And then we lurched to a complete stop. We had run aground. Eventually, we had to be rescued by boats, several of them, and we were taken to a town on the north coast of Java. And there appeared a newspaper article about us in the local news. The headline read something like, "Passengers sue for tighter enforcement of maximum capacity limits." Now, the captain, he had been fined for overselling his ferry, and he was interviewed. He was quite indignant. According to him, he had made this journey many times with many more passengers. And according to him, the problem was that this group of passengers was particularly full of shit. It was his desire that a law be created that would require passengers to use the bathroom before getting on the ship. And his plight should serve as an example to ship captains around the world. Well, of course, in 30 years, the Indonesians have brought their ferry system up to code. And me, I now see it as a failure of the imagination if someone fails to abide by a sign. In many signs, they are based on wisdom, and wisdom is almost always based on experience. And so, whether a sign reads maximum capacity 50 or passengers must shit before boarding the vessel or stand 6 feet apart, I remind myself that these are almost always based on real, often unimaginable experiences. Thank you.
Pamela, you've always liked my books. I don't understand.
Yeah, no,
I don't get it.
Wait, Pamela, come back. What were you
I'm
gonna-
sorry. I thought you,
This is my wife. I brought my wife with me to see my agent. Anyway, you've always liked my books. I don't really understand what's going on with the story. I mean, is it not exciting enough? What's going on?
Am I Pamela or am I your wife?
You're Pamela. You're my
Okay,
literary
great.
agent.
I just wanted to be clear because that story has thrown me for a loop.
I guess so.
Melissa, I just listen.
So it had an impact. My story had an impact. You like my book.
No, it had an impact, but it's just a little bit too far-fetched. I mean, like a shit monster coming out of the bathroom and throwing I mean, it's just too much. It's too much. Nobody's ever gonna.
You don't think people are gonna relate to that? Everybody shits.
You know, everybody shits. Yes,
Shit happens. I mean,
yes, I've heard that phrase before. Yes, but it just feels like it's all too far out there, and then the crowds and like rushing the boats and.
It was true. I was there, wasn't I?
This is actually a true story. I mean, I'm writing. You told me to write about my life, and that's what I'm doing.
I just don't believe you. It's just.
No, but it really happened.
Have you never been in a boat?
Have you ever shit? Do you shit, Pamela?
Excuse. What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? Have I ever? Yes, I've been in a boat, and yes, I'm a human being, but I just. Is this really true?
Yes. No, it's really true. You were the one that told me to write about my life, and so
I said write what you know, and I just thought that you would really jump the shark.
No, actually, that's the next book.
Wow. Captain, I have a memo for you from the admiral. Wants you to it's going to surprise you, but he wants to have more shit in the boats. It's apparently very popular. There was some kind of book written in America about the shit monster thing, and they want to have
More shit boat. I don't know. If you could just maybe try to make more shit. That's all I'm saying.
I can make more shit happen. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I can make more shit.
If you can just do it, I mean, it's just the Admiral would like to see.
I can operationalize the shit. It's not my first priority, it's my number 2 priority, but I will make it happen. But here's the thing I'm going to ask you. Will we be able to use this and leverage this for attention?
Well, of course. I mean, with this book, this author has written the book, tourism is way up. Well, highest tourism the area has ever seen. It is just, everybody wants the experience. They want to know, like, what. Remember when that book, The Beach, came out and everyone went to Thailand to have.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that at all. But if you say so, I believe it.
Like that. Now everybody wants shit in the boat. I don't know. It's just, it's like they want it. It's, I don't know. It's the popular thing.
I see The Rock playing the lady getting in the. Don't you think? Rock is going to play that part.
Yes.
Well, it'll come out. It'll be terrific. They'll do some rewrites. It'll be good.
The mouth, yes, The Rock would be great, and Jack Black would play you.
Jack Black, yeah, that's good. Jack Black will play me.
Very heroic.
Right. All right, consider it done.
Okay. Thank you for taking the news very well. I thought that you were going to be upset. I appreciate your open-mindedness.
What? What's a little shit between friends? Come on, we'll make it happen.
Hey, fellow crocodiles.
Yeah.
You know, things have been a little slow, huh? I was sort of excited about this recent boat trip. I thought maybe a tourist comes down, tries to sit on one of us, huh? And then we really have some fun. Yeah. But nothing. There was no tourist came out of that boat. Did you notice that?
No.
It used to be that we were the most exciting thing around here for boat trips, huh? We were the biggest threat. Those humans have gone crazy.
What if we all attack the boat?
No, we got to do something. Yeah. We got to get our position back.
We all get together and we all attack the boat at one time.
Oh, that's an idea. We maybe try to climb over the side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because I don't like this. The sign on the shore says, "Do not sit on crocodiles."
Oh, that old sign, it's all rusty now.
An old sign, I know, but it always has given me pride that, because bad things will happen if you sit on crocodiles. It was always tempting, you know?
No, that sign is in terrible disrepair. Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody cares about us crocodiles anymore.
They have all new signs now.
Oh, new signs. Now they're warning about other things. What are we? What, chopped liver?
I remember when they used to see that sign and laugh and go, "Watch me, I'll sit on a crocodile."
Right, that's what we're talking about. There was a time when people were afraid of us.
I remember, Trevor, the way you ate that person. I remember that. One bite.
Oh, we all remember the way Trevor ate that person.
I was young then.
Oh.
You're talking about the old days again?
Oh, Grandpa, we are talking about the days when crocodiles were threatening, when people were afraid of us. Now they have other things to deal with.
It was so good in those days.
Oh, so good. Grandpa, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Would just eat up any person you want. They would just sit. You would chomp. It was great.
They would sit. They would sit on you.
They got signs. They got warnings. Not like it used to be.
Not like it used to be.
Can I be honest? It's making me feel not so fearsome anymore.
Oh, no, you're very fearsome.
No, it's true. What is a fearsome crocodile if no one is afraid?
You have big teeth.
I know I have big teeth. I've got a big jaw, but I don't think people are paying attention, huh?
You got to be yourself.
I'm afraid of you.
Find your own fearsomeness.
Oh, I've
copy the old generation.
Find my own fearsomeness.
Oh, here comes the ferry boat.
Proclaim who I am.
Let's all attack. The ferry boat, here it comes.
Let's do it. Let's get that title back.
You go ahead, Rosalie. We're all with you. You lead the way.
Here we go.
That's the end. All right, and that is our show. Let's everybody turn your cameras back on. Welcome our storytellers back.
That's the end.
And yay, let's hear it.
Yay.
All right. Well, there's never been one like that. There will never be one like that again. Let us hear it for our storytellers, for our guest storytellers, Tracy Rose, Scott Sanders, and Brandon Sparse.
Yay. Awesome.
And let's bring back Christina. Christina, if you're there, come on back.
Hello.
Yay.
Woo. William had so many outfits tonight.
I know.
Have.
And they're ones I didn't wear. I'm just letting you know.
I believe that. I so believe
Do
that.
you have an outfit for Q&A tonight? Is there a Q&A outfit?
No, this is it. My PJs.
I brought up some friends. We'll have some friends for Q&A.
Oh yeah. Hey,
You wanna do some-
Corey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys-
Oh, wow.
That was so funny.
That was
You both had,
amazing.
like,
That was amazing.
Oh, Lotso.
Lotso.
I'm lucky because my theater is my 11-year-old's bedroom. This is where
Aha.
So you have plenty of props.
a lot of soft things. Only soft.
Awesome.
Anybody else in the audience have a Lotso?
Aw.
I did not know who that
Hey,
was.
Regina are saying thank you, storytellers from Regina.
Yay.
Yes, thank you. Story.
Did the stories have enough material for you guys?
So
Yes,
much.
I would
I
characterize
think
them
so.
as kind of mature tonight.
Yeah.
It was a mature show. It's good.
It was an M for mature show.
Yeah.
Awesome. I just want to just tell the audience that they can bring in some questions for the Q&A. We'd love to hear from you. Let's see what they're saying. And also, storytellers, welcome to our Q&A. We'd love to hear from you as well. And what was it like to have your stories be recreated into something else?
I thought it was great. It was fun to see what little nuggets stuck in people's minds and what you sort of brought to life. So that was enjoyable and a different way to sort of experience my story. So thanks for bringing it to life.
And I liked, my devious minded story is totally simpatico with your minds. It's enjoyable to watch.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing.
I really enjoyed the comments that people were writing. It was hard to keep from reading those. I started by talking about the warning sign, "Don't sit on the crocodile." I didn't mean for that to become such a big part of the story. And of course, some people were saying he meant don't shit on the crocodile.
That seemed like good advice, actually.
That's great. I love it. All right. Eliza apparently had to watch, people are talking about the maturity of the show tonight. People are talking about how William has since moved to a comedy club. He's like post-comedy club Q&A. Oh, smoky background. Don't sit on the crocodiles because they're French, Toby wants you to know. I'm curious, Cass, for you, what was it for you? What showed up? I noticed there were times where you were just ready to go. What happened when you heard the stories and what came alive for you? Zoe, let's start with you.
Oh, well, gosh, I really enjoyed listening to the stories and just picking out those little kernels, those little nuggets that we can use as inspiration. So that was really fun. And since we've never heard the stories before, we're listening to them for the first time, just like the audience. And so I just wondered, what kind of little nuggets did the audience attach to?
Let's ask them. Let's see if they put in the chat what they attached to tonight from opening.
Yeah.
There was lots of different themes. People were going kind of crazy all through the event.
Yeah, I turned off my chat. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, picking up nuggets.
Oh, the burp. Yeah, burping in the face. There was Tracy, there was so much. I mean, there was so much in all of the stories, but there was so much in your story that killed me. I was like ready to play with all of it. But that phrase, another lesbian for social justice, like I loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like being Patty.
What's that?
I like being Patty.
Patty.
Oh, Patty. Yes,
Oh,
Patty was
yeah.
great.
Oh, somebody said in the chat, Patty for president.
Patty.
Oh,
People really liked Patty.
that's funny. I like Patty.
So cool. I just want to remind folks that we are asking for donations if it's part of your availability. We are here raising money to help continue BATS stay alive while we're outside of the theater. Continue to bring your questions. We're hanging out with a bunch of folks still. Corey, love to hear from you. What sparked you tonight?
Something that I love about storytelling in general is that it has this power to kind of transport us. It's like even though these stories were 5-6 minute stories, like we were brought to the other sides of the world. We were brought to a boat in Bali. We were brought to a karaoke bar in the Castro. We were brought to a 12-year-old.
Inside the mind of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, inside the mind of a 12-year-old. Like a jockstrap clad, 30-pound bench pressing child. Like they have this amazing power to do that. And for me, the real fun of this kind of format is being inspired, but not being like derailed by that, by going like, okay, what can I use within that? Because you've got themes, you've got relationships, you've got characters, you've got ideas. And so it's really just that fun of riffing off of it and seeing what comes next and not being limited by it, but actually expand. We BATS Improv have certainly never done a scene with 5 crocodiles getting ready to attack a boat. Like that's a scene we've never done.
Yeah.
That came out. It's like, I've never played a Hitler, the denizen talking to the Fuhrer. I don't think I've ever done that, but like these brought those scenes alive.
Yeah. That's great. Robin out there is saying that the audience could tell the moral of the stories by combining one idea from each story in a sentence. So go for it, Robin. We'd love to hear your moral of the stories for tonight as William adds a wig on. Rebecca, what for you stood out tonight? Oh, Robin already gave her sentence, she said. Okay, good. Rebecca, what stood out for you?
Well, one of the things for me is that I knew that my young niece was watching. And so some of the themes and the maturity of tonight's stories, I've got to admit, were making me think about her. But she often texts me after the show's over, and she didn't text me, so maybe she turned it off earlier. But I swear to God, it's like I get into this mindset of being the good auntie wanting to protect a child. She doesn't need to be protected. She's yeah. But anyway,
what's her first name or her first initial? What's her first?
Oh, you know.
It wasn't Eliza, was it? Because I already heard Eliza had to leave the room.
Eliza from last night?
Eliza turned 11 last week and she was watching our show. And her mom was like, Eliza's going to bed. And I was like, yeah, Eliza's going to bed.
Yeah.
If you're a horny 12-year-old, don't.
Oh, it was actually Chris. Chris was our bartender tonight. He made sure that people got mints midway through the show again.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
William, there's been more questions about your outfits. What for you tonight, besides along with your outfits?
What's the
William,
question?
what stood out for you tonight in the show?
I love this cast and how the stories inspired everyone to sort of just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
It felt sometimes it doesn't always happen in an improv show. Sometimes we're backstage and we're looking at each other and everyone's kind of going, do you have anything? I'm not sure where to go with this. But tonight it felt like people were really like, let's go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. That last one, Zoe, you popped in there, and I was just reaching for I got something. And Zoe's there. I'm like, great, Zoe's got something. Let's go. I just love that feeling where you're working with other people who are leaning into it, and they feel like they've got something. And I know that nobody has much. They just have a little something. Like, let's see where this takes us. I got a little something. Let's see.
Yeah.
And I was really glad about the Titanic line to help that scene.
That was so helpful. I loved that little ending.
Yeah.
About the bedtime stories. It was a great. I
was really happy I had a hairnet.
I loved when Corey was telling the Nazi that his writings are too erotic.
So good.
It's funny in this format. It's different than performing in front of an audience. You can't hear the audience response.
Yeah, it's really true.
So like when Brandon was reading his own comments, and I think he was telling his story, and then he was just saying, "Ew, no, OMG!" It was so funny because it was like reading the subtitles.
At one point it said it's a real shit show, and yeah.
Oh my God. I was like viscerally affected by that story. I was like, oh, this like beautiful woman with this sparkling white. I was like,
that's great. Shelley, who calls herself a super fan, the moral of the story is weirdos need to dig through the shit to find love.
Whoa, I like that. Wow.
I did really delight in putting out a 12-year-old joke, a joke for a 12-year-old, with the captain saying, "Adding more shit, it's not my number one priority. It's my number two."
My number two.
That was very clever.
Wait, so it's just a 12-year-old. It's like a joke for a 12-year-old.
That's so great. We have one more question here for the storytellers. And Hillary, just a reminder, we are raising money, so we really appreciate you donating. So here's a storytellers. What kind of expectations did you have in regards to seeing your stories being reinterpreted?
Good question.
Yeah, guys.
I don't think I had any expectation. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
I didn't know where it was going to go, and it was an adventure watching what happened.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, I didn't really have any expectation. So it was just fun to see all of the different interpretations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that the actors were going to act out the whole story. That was
hard to disappoint.
I chose that one.
Puppets, maybe.
I'm just kidding.
There's a question in the Q&A from Sheila Merrill Johnson who says, "I'd like to hear from the storytellers whether they felt honored, nonplussed, or what." Before you answer, I just want to say, when we met to talk about this format, we talked to the storytellers and we said, we want to make sure that you feel that we're not making fun of the stories, because that's really important. We as improvisers, as theater people, we really respect story. Storytellers, I said that, but you can have your own thoughts about it. I mean, what was it? Do you have any thoughts on that? Honored, nonplussed?
Well, I mean, it's a challenge telling a story. It's a little bit what Corey was saying. It's a challenge telling a story when you don't see any eyeballs and you don't hear anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead. I'm going to just interrupt and say we have another moral of the story. I'm going to just drop in here just because it doesn't go your way.
Visited by another Zoom. I just say this is our day and age that a Zoom birthday party showed up in the middle of the show. That's never happened to me before.
You're like Zoom on Zoom. Right. Yeah. I'm going to add a moral right before you. Just because it doesn't go your way at first doesn't mean you're a creep.
That creep, man. Yeah, this is a great anthem.
Is that your song now?
Great
Tracy,
anthem.
with your partner?
No, absolutely not. Our song is actually "Happy Together."
Oh, okay. All right.
Tracy, that's a really fun origin story. A really nice cute meet somehow.
Thank you.
It shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Oh my God.
I know, it was meant to be.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's so good. What a great story.
Well, Brandon, did you want to add to that? I just want to add, we're really getting ready to wrap up here. We really appreciate your donations. It means a lot to all of us here at BATS.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Brandon, was there anything you wanted to add before we?
No, I think as someone's listening to a story, a lot goes through their mind. And so seeing those little tidbits get picked up and developed was really, really fascinating to me.
Well, everyone, it was a fabulous story. Corey, thank you for being our director tonight.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. I love that you got double zoomed, or I don't know, what are we going to call that? Like someone called it a fractal of Zoom.
It's like a Zoomception.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom and a zoom and a zoom.
There was also people on that Zoom. It was a birthday party in Australia. International.
Wow.
Watch out.
Zoomception.
Things are possible. I love it.
Hey, Lisa, one of the questions that people are asking is, I don't know if we've hit our $10,000 yet.
They want to know if we've hit our what?
10,000.
Y'all, we hit our $10,000 last.
Yay!
We did it. We did it. We have hit it. So yeah. So Christina, did you tell the good people about our match?
Mention it. Please mention it again because there's people
So
here.
an incredibly generous donor, Thomas Coates, community member, longtime student, things like that, offered up $10,000 to help us incentivize donations. Said he would match $10,000 in donations, and we've been working on it for the last 10 days probably. And last night we crossed that $10,000 mark.
Nice.
Which is amazing. So that means that all of those dollars, if you have donated in the last 10 days or so, all of your dollars will be doubled, which is totally amazing.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. I know that a bunch of you have seen the shows before, have come and joined us, and if you've donated, if you've given, it's incredibly generous of you, and we're so grateful. So thank you.
And this helps us keep the theater open, right?
Yeah,
tell us where.
Yeah. So in effect, all of your donations go to making sure that BATS is around when all of this is over, because in effect, when coronavirus hit and we all shut down, all of our income disappeared. All of the ways that we earn money. We can't do shows anymore. We couldn't do classes anymore. We couldn't do at work trainings anymore, but all of our expenses were still around. We have a staff, we have the Bayfront, we're paying rent on the Bayfront. All of those expenses of just like running a business. I mean, we're not the only ones with this concern. And so with your generosity, we are having more and more of a hope of sort of staying strong through this and being there for you when we get to come back together in person. So it's incredibly important, and it's really touching.
And I just want to thank everybody for volunteering their time tonight, because I think it's really awesome that the storytellers came on board and that we're all volunteering our time. So thank you, storytellers.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone so very much. Your donations mean a lot. The show is amazing. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Goodbye, everyone out there. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, islands around the world. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Chris says to hydrate. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Everyone who's still here, I'm going to the green room if you want to meet there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Thomas, for everything. After a while, crocodile. That's so great. Don't forget to hydrate. Yes, someone hear the green room post by Michelle. Yes. Thanks to everyone for being here. We really appreciate you. Have a great night.